Welcome to today's webinar on SMS, MMS, and voice capabilities and benefits. When taking an omni-channel approach to your customer experience, it's important that you include all three of these elements in your efforts. With GreenRope, you get these features free as part of your subscription. This webinar today is going to cover each of these functionalities, how to set it up, and how to effectively use it as part of your business process. All SMS, MMS, and voice activities are automatically recorded in the CRM, making it easy for you to include these efforts into your overall strategy. Like we say at GreenRope, if it isn't in the CRM, it didn't happen. We're going to be covering a lot today. First, we're going to start off with finding and setting up your ideal phone number. We're going to request a phone number, what are the costs associated with them, as well as tracking any unknown callers that call this number. Next, we'll customize the actions for your phone number. So setting up a phone tree, the SMS text forwarding, as well as key opt-in automation. We'll create and send an SMS campaign, which includes SMS and MMS campaign, as well as a voice broadcast. The campaign results will be tracked within this section as well. Dive into the contact record and help to communicate on an individual level. So you will call, send a voice message, and text contacts throughout the system. A few important notes to keep in mind we'll cover include sending permissions, what are the best links to use, as well as the audio file types. And if you have any questions, we'll cover those right at the end, or if you're watching a recording, please reach out to our support team at support@greenrope.com. My name is Madison Potter. I'll be walking you through this feature today. If you have any questions, you can find me directly at madison@greenrope.com or reach out to our support team as well. Before you get started with setting up the voice and messaging within your account, make sure that first you have an active account with GreenRope with a credit card on file. Our feature is actually an integration with Twilio. And so all the payment through Twilio is actually added onto your monthly GreenRope subscription. This integration is awesome as it actually tracks all the communication channels, reports, and all that generates. And then the payment is just added onto your subscription. So it's not a ongoing subscription that you have, but rather just the amount of calls and texts that you have is calculated that way. Next, you want to make sure that you have the right shared access permissions to access this feature. So if you're not the main account holder, you'll need to have permissions into the call and texting option to really get to understand and use the feature. Next, we'll understand what the costs are associated with calling and texting through the system. So this is a Twilio, the cost associated using the Twilio's call and SMS features. So the pricing is set by Twilio, but our integration allows you to set up and manage everything without having to leave your GreenRope. So since all of the activity is added to your monthly bill, as we discussed, you'll need to be a paying account holder. With Twilio, you'll purchase a phone number cost $1.55 per month. Costs for the call and texting do vary, but within the United States, an SMS is 1.2 cents each. Sending an MMS, which is just the elevated SMS, including the videos and the images and the GIFs into your text, those cost around 3 cents per message. To abide by the carrier requirements, the delivery is limited to 20 messages per second. So it does take a little bit of a longer time to send your messages out, but the messages will get there. The reason for the delay is just because the MMS are just usually heavier messages with the phones downloading, the videos and images connected to your texts. Inbound and outbound calls are 2.3 cents per minute within the United States. So the international and rates for the toll-free numbers may cost slightly more. Costs vary by country. So for example, receiving calls on a toll-free number in the United States cost 4.5 cents a minute. Sending messages within the UK is 6.2 cents per minute message. So it really depends on where you're sending the contacts from. But please note that you only pay for what you use. There are no markups or contracts with this integration. Since there are so many features to walk you through, it's going to be a lot easier if we just dive into GreenRope. First, we'll set up and find your ideal phone number. So within your GreenRope account, you can access this feature by hovering over the Communicate dropdown and select SMS, MMS, and Voice. This is going to take you to the main SMS and call management page. All of the available numbers for your account are listed right here. You'll see if it's SMS capable, MMS, or Voice. To request a new number, click on Request New Phone Number. You can customize the phone number you're looking for by the country, as well as an area code if you want to specify, or any additional name, numbers, or messages you want to include into the contents. Identify if you want to require SMS or MMS capability, as well as search for mobile numbers or toll-free numbers. Once you click to search for your number, you'll see a list of capable numbers that you can choose from. This really makes it easy to identify the specific number that you are wanting to use for your account. Another way you can also request a number is by hovering over the Actions drawer and request a new number here. Once you have a number, all calls and texts that have been communicated with this number are tracked within your CRM. That's where the magic of the integration really happens. So for example, let's say a contact calls you and they're not a contact within your CRM and you don't know who they are. We also track all the unknown callers. To see the unknown caller, click to view. Here you can see who the contact was from and who they called. If the contact phone number was forwarded to any specific person, you can listen to a recording, add any notes about this transcript, or delete the call log altogether. If you want to add this contact as a new person within your CRM, you can add them as a new contact from here. The available phone numbers within your account are all going to be listed within the available phone number section. Here, you can click into any of the phone numbers to modify them further. Within the Modify Phone Number page, you'll have the options to customize. For example, the friendly name is the caller ID that you want your contacts to see. Here, you can specify another number or a friendly caller ID that you want to share when you are calling or texting your contacts. The inbound call management section allows you to add an intro or welcome message to your calls. Any person that calls this number can have a message come to their inbox as soon as they answer. So first name placeholders and other placeholders also work within this section. You can identify if you'd like a female or a male's voice. If you have a text-to-speech, the system will render the text that you have entered here and include the first name of the contact. GreenRope also does have a inbuilt spell checker. So if you do add this in here, you can make sure that to proofread your information along the way. Otherwise, another option you could do would be to add an MP3 audio file. This would be a pre-recorded option that your team has previously added into the media library. So the MP3 file can have a message that you can send and set up to play. For example, as soon as the contact calls your number here, you can have this welcome message play. You also have the ability to record the conversations and attach them to the contact CRM record. you scroll down, you can add the phone tree associated with this call. So for example, if a contact were to press 0, 1, or 2, all the way up to 9, you can then direct them to a specific person on your system. You either have the text-to-speech option, which again would actually verbally speak any of the texting that you have here. So for example, if you were to add, "Thank you, you are now being connected to sales. You called me re-recorded for quality assurance. This is only once they select and press 0. Again, you can also connect an MP3 audio file to further customize the voice. Once they press 0, this phone number will first dial any specific person on your team and assign a call activity to any person on your account, any shared access user. If you'd like to also add exceptions to further expand this phone tree, you can add an exception here. What this does, it will first call this person on your team, except if you're wanting to dedicate specific hours or days to route it elsewhere. For example, you would call Melissa, except on Monday from 9 to 5. If it is on Monday from 9 to 5 p.m., you can call a specific person on your team instead. Then you will add their number in here. Once you update the settings, you can add as many exceptions as you need. There is no limit to the amount of exceptions that you can navigate towards. This is your phone tree that you will build out. If you scroll below the phone tree, you'll see that there is an SMS text forwarding option. This allows you to track all of the incoming text messages from your contacts. Since the texts are going to be directly connected to this number that you've just purchased, you can forward any of the incoming messages to another phone number, otherwise another email address that you want to track in this conversation. The automatic opt-ins allow you to create specific keywords. If a contact were to respond with any of these keywords, you can add them into a specific group in your account, trigger a specific workflow to happen, as well as reply to the contact and thank them or respond to their message. Some of the common options, for example, if they say yes to opt-in, you can then add them into a specific hot leads group or activate a workflow for additional follow-up. Then you can also respond with appreciating their outreach and take it from there. Other key opt-in words include no, stop, and unsubscribe. Those are generic terms that you want to use to make sure that people are not receiving further communication from your SMS campaigns. This would be good to move them out of the group or activate a workflow and notify the person in charge. You can have up to 9 opt-in keywords per phone number. The preferred call to click to call number is creating a more default person that is associated with this contact. This is not used all the time, but you can also identify a specific contact that this phone number is preferred to call. If you scroll down, you'll see when the phone number was created and when it was updated. You can delete the phone number as well as update any of the settings from this page as well. That was within the actual call. To see a real example of a full phone tree, this is our GreenRope main support line, just as an example. Here we have our main number as our friendly name. We have a voice recording, and we also record any of the conversations. If a contact were to press 0, we'll thank them and we'll be contacting them to support. By default, it will be assigned to someone on our team, and we have a list of exceptions to route the call to the most available person on our team. You can see that the phone trees can get pretty extensive, and this depends on how your business is structured and how you want to route the conversations. Any of the incoming SMSs are actually emailed to our team as well. A keyword, if they respond with hello, we can respond hello back or add any additional information here as well. To create a new SMS campaign, you can either click on the new SMS campaign from here. Otherwise, within the actions drawer, you can also create a campaign. By default, it's going to show all the contacts within this current group. You can edit the filter options to see the full list of editing features that you can further streamline this list of contacts. This is very similar to all the other editing filters within the account. And you can streamline the list of contacts through here. Once the summary box updates, you'll see all the contacts that is the current SMS campaign was sent to. Once you click done, you'll add the contact to your list. First, you'll name the campaign, identify the phone number that you are sending from, identify the campaign type, which is either a text or SMS, or a voice broadcast. If it is an SMS, you can also identify any images from your media library you want to upload, respond with some keywords that you want to attach, and then you would type your message into the box here. As you'll see along the bottom, the characters remaining is 120. This will not cut you off at 160, but please note that if you do go over 160, that it will send us 2 separate messages and be charged accordingly. Here, you can also add any emojis into your texts. If you were to do the voice broadcast campaign, you can also add the keyword for people to respond and identify the language preferences. Then you will type your audio message for it to be transcribed. Once you are ready, send the campaign. It'll show you once the campaign has been sent, as well as be added to the rest of the list here. So all campaigns that you have sent throughout the system will be added into this option where it is tracked. You'll see how many recipients got your campaign. You can click on the campaign to see the response, any of the keywords associated, and if anybody responded to your message as well. Now that you've seen how to use the SMS and call management page, you'll be able to also work directly within the contact record itself. First, identify the contact record. This, as long as you have a phone call set up within your CRM and the contact has a phone or mobile set up, you will be able to use these features. For example, here you'll be able to call the contact from the CRM. You'll identify the phone number you wish to call from and select to call the contact. This will first dial your specific number. In my case, this is the same number as the test contact, but it will show you the contact number that's set within your shared access. If you do not wish to complete the call, continue to end the call here. It'll play the audio that you have set up within the file and hang up the call. If you wish to bypass the phone calls altogether and just send the contact a voice broadcast, you can do that within the message section. Here, identify the phone number you wish to message from. Identify the language preferences. You can either do the text-to-speech, where you would add your dynamic placeholder and words, or you can do the recorded message that you've previously uploaded into your media library. Once you send this to the mobile, it's going to let the ring go and then add this voice message as a voice broadcast on your client's end. Lastly, you can also text the contact from the CRM as well. This will open up the Send Personal SMS page. You can identify the phone number, see who the contact is messaging to, and then type your message into the box. You'll see that the placeholders do pull, and GreenRope does have its own proofreading spell check. So you can click on any of these options and disable it or ignore. The characters remaining show you here, and add any inserts. Once you're ready, click to send the personal SMS now. All this information stored within the contacts record will be added to their CRM activities. If we locate the contact and go into their CRM Activities tab, you'll see all the information relating to the communication with this contact. So for example, with the phone call, you will see the phone call, the keywords. You can play an audio version, as well as flag this phone call as a high importance. You see a transcript. You can edit or send an invite, as well as add any comments. For example, you can ask people on your team to review or any comments surrounding this phone call, and then notify the people associated. Comment here. You can see the voice messaging or the SMS sends, and everything is stored within the contact record. To quickly find the list of information surrounding here, click to filter. Here you can check the specific options relating to your SMS and text and update the search. So that's how you call and text right within the system. There are a lot of other features that you can do to set up the customization, but this is going to be more of an overview of how to set it up and manage it. A few important notes to keep in mind is that you will need permissions to send contacts commercial SMSs and their opt-ins. Also, don't use a public link shortener, as the client's accounts or the phone numbers usually see this as more of a spammy option and can sometimes block your texts. So a public link shortener like bit.ly has seen this, and so that's why GreenRope offers you other options within our feature. So for example, within the media library, all files and images do have a shortened link associated with it. You can also add linked library and use those links from there. Otherwise, dynamic link rules. If you have any questions on those, please reach out to our team and we'll be happy to walk you through that. Also, the audio files that you want to use for the voice broadcasting need to be MP3 files and formatted in the MP3 option. This will help it render and get selected when you are connecting it to the voice broadcast. A few concepts that we did cover today, there were a lot. This is just more of the overview of requesting a Twilio phone number. So enter a series of numbers and letters for your ideal phone number. Unknown callers, so listen to the conversations or voicemails, make notes, and then decide if you want to add them as a new contact or delete the message. Customizing your phone actions. Friendly name, add a welcome message, integrate your phone tree, set up SMS forwarding so you don't miss any of the incoming texts, and then add keyword opt-ins to set up the automation and moving contacts throughout your account. Next, you can create and send campaigns. So this can be an SMS or MMS campaign, a voice broadcast. They can include keyword opt-ins, and then you can see all the campaign results on who responded and saw your text. Then on an individual level from inside the contact record, you can call them, send a voice message, as well as text that contact from their CRM. And then tracking as well. All communication is stored within the contact CRM activity tabs. If you want to send other triggers, you could do this through a workflow. That would be on a next webinar, so keep your eye out. If you have any questions, you can find us over at support@greenrope.com. Otherwise, visit the help section for more details surrounding this feature and all of its functionality.